In this video, we will learn how to interpret the weather station model found on weather maps produced by the National Weather Service. The station model is a wealth of information for any person interpreting weather maps. It can provide information pertaining to the current temperature to the direction of the wind. Each part of this station model can help a meteorologist determine various aspects of the weather, which in turn can aid in placing fronts on a weather map. The first aspect to discuss is wind. Wind is determined by two items on the station model: the wind direction, as indicated by the wind barb, and the wind speed, as indicated by the feathers on the wind barb. These are commonly misunderstood items on the station model, as many interpret the wind barb to be pointing where the wind is going. In meteorology, wind is not denoted by where it is going, but instead is denoted by where it is coming from. An easy way to interpret this is to treat the wind barb as the end of an arrow and then add an arrowhead to the other side of the station model. The resulting arrow identifies where the wind is blowing to based on the direction the arrow is pointing and where it is coming from. In this station model, we can say the wind is a northeasterly wind where it is coming from and is blowing towards the southwest. Then, to determine the speed of the wind, you can count the number of feathers on the barb, with each long feather equaling 10 knots and each short feather equaling 5 knots. Once you get above 45 knots in wind speed, a solid triangle is then placed on the wind barb to indicate a 50-knot wind. Also found on the station model are indications of temperature, both current and dew point temperature. Current temperature is found to the upper left of the station model, while dew point temperature is found to the lower left. The difference between these two items are that current temperature indicates the current air temperature, while dew point temperature is the temperature that air must reach to have precipitation occur. When the current temperature and the dew point temperature reach the same number, you will have a 100% chance of some form of precipitation occurring. The third item to cover on this station model is information pertaining to pressure. More specifically, current surface pressure and the 3-hour pressure change. The 3-hour pressure change is found centered to the right of the station model and is an important item for determining what has occurred in the area with respect to pressure. This can help identify an approaching pressure system such as a mid-latitude cyclone, also known as a low pressure system. It is important to note that with this value, you must divide the number by 10, as the number is in tenths of a millibar, and that a close inspection of the pressure tendency is needed to identify if a drop or rise in pressure has occurred. The 3-digit pressure value is another commonly misunderstood number. This is a code number in the upper right of the station model and represents a pressure value at the surface from 950 millibars to 1049 millibars. While this is not all the possible pressure values the Earth can see, it is extremely rare to see a number outside of this range, except for an extreme event such as a hurricane passing through a region. With this being known, one can decode this pressure value on the station model by remembering to put a 9 in front of the coded value when the code starts with a 5 or higher, and a 10 when the code starts with a number lower than 5. Other items found on this station model include visibility, a value indicating how many miles one can see from this station model due to the current weather conditions, which is centered on the station model. What the present weather being experienced at the station is, also centered on the left side of the station model, and how much sky, otherwise known as percentage of cloud cover, there is, which is indicated by how the station model is filled. In summary, in this video we have learned how to interpret a station model for the various aspects of weather at a location on the Earth. Understanding this station model will prove useful when it comes time to identify fronts locations, as well as interpret what is occurring at any location around the world. Please feel free to share your comments and questions with your instructor regarding the content of this video, as well as to receive further guidance on the concepts covered.